And welcome everybody to the first ever Upsurge broadcast for Valorant. I am Ravishing Gravis, the most ravishing man on the internet, joined here by this beautiful bearded. Look at that smile possible right beside me. How are we doing today, Paul?
I was doing better before the intro. I'm going to be honest with you, Ravish. But I'll be doing better here in a minute as soon as we get into this Valorant action. It's going to be a dope season at the UPL. So many unknown quantities, so many new teams. It's sure to be a banger.
Oh, an absolute banger, a bamboozler, many other giant words which express excitement. And you know what? The less of that, which is exactly what I'm hoping for, though. It's because, like, Paul, I don't know about you. I've been playing Valorant since the beta. I remember when there were more pixels on the screen than I can count, more pixels than I made that year, honestly.
Oh no! So Valorant, you've got some catching up to do, Ravish, because Valorant is in a very fun, very good place. Next week is gonna change up a ton, but it's not next week yet, Ravish. We're still here. We're still in Act 2. The operator nerfs have gone live. That patch did hit the live service. That will be the one we are playing on, and I'm excited to see how that changes up potentially map priority, agent priority, Jet maybe falling off a bit. We'll see how much Jet we see today. But I'm excited for this match regardless.
Exactly so, because with those operator changes, those Jets can't do what I like to call the electric slide. You know, you go ahead, slide and get a shot, slide out. Like just an immediate so, because then like, okay, all right, no, fine, okay, all right, do you have a better name?
It's tougher to the electric slide. I love the name. The name is not the problem with that.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher to do that at the very least right now, and
Sure.
it is one of the reasons that Jet has
That's the
been
whole point.
falling off over the last week or so, but certainly not impossible. That being said, teams, they could do whatever they want, and we got two interesting teams. We're gonna have to just hit the map, see what they decide to bring out, because like we said, we don't really have much info on these two teams other than the names, Ravish.
Exactly. So we'll be having Zenith. We'll be having Winthrop
Nope.
versus
There
Depth
you go.
today. It'll
Yeah,
have
Winthrop
Winthrop
versus
versus
Depth.
Depth. What did I say?
You said Zenith, and I mean, this might be the zenith of Valorant play we see right here. That's for sure. Ha! Beautiful professional transitions right there.
Thank
But
you.
speaking of which, we're transitioning into our beautiful map pick and ban. It seems that one map already gone. I believe that was Split hitting the floor there. Unsurprising, most teams, you get that first map ban, you don't want to go to Split. Most teams will do that. This second map ban, when we have a system like this, is often the most important because you get to decide more so whether or not you want Ascent to be in the pool, right? A lot of teams still struggling with Ascent, especially now that the operator changes have gone live. It's so much more difficult to get that control of mid on the defense. So a lot of teams, you get that option as to whether or not you want to keep Ascent in the pool. We're just going to have to wait and see as to what our next ban will be.
And I do have to say, it's like within staying on topic of Ascent as well, with what I've seen more often than not with pro play, or really just in general, a lot of the times teams will just go ahead, give up mid control, or probably go and stand down by pizza to just try to get some sort of cheeky pick before they make any of the rotations that being on the attack, right? So it's like, because like mid control, I find is not necessarily like change the game like it used to because those operator bans, right? Because you can't just go ahead, hard scope down in, and like I said, just electric slide just in and out every single time to be able to find someone who's waiting down, slide to be looking at you.
Oh man, Ravish, this is gonna be a fun podcast. I'm glad we get to hit the mic together. You are a very interesting person. I love it. Every moment of it. Every moment of it. All right. Split was not actually the ban we are being told by our producer. It was the Haven ban. Oh, this is even more interesting. All right. So so when you get that first map pick, what most teams will do is ban Split, right? And that kind of leaves the other team to decide what the two available are. But if you decide to not ban Split first, then things become interesting because you are taking a little bit of a gamble. Split, very much the map most teams don't really want to go to out of the four available currently, right? Because it is so difficult to pull off. It is difficult to set up a coordinated attack. And although, yes, defense is so strong there, right? You take that gamble that the other team has prepped it better than you do. Whereas other maps are, you can adapt a little bit more. If you struggle, you can come back from it. Split on a map, you can really do that as well on. So not banning split, leaving it open and deciding whether or leaving the decision rather
Mhm.
of whether or not we go to split up to the enemy team. Very interesting.
It's a fascinating one. It almost feels as though like I'm reminded of a child when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I go ahead and put in one of my strongest cards in attack mode, and I say, "You go ahead and take it," and I have a trap card ready to go. And there's it, and perhaps that was a trap card they're waiting for, but it looks like one of the map we'll be going to a set though for sure here, Paul.
Yes, Depth have chosen to go to Ascent. Still one of the most popular maps, despite everything I was saying earlier.
Mhm.
Ascent, just a very comfortable map. It's great for team coordination. So it seems like it's going to be Ascent chosen as the third map here. Wait,
Mhm.
no, it's left to it's right to left here. All
I
you
got it. I
weaves
got
got
it.
to be
I got it. I
comfortable
got
leaving it. So
it.
it's gonna be it's right,
It's
left, center here.
right,
Perfect.
left,
Okay, so I
center.
believe we start on Ascent,
Right.
then go to split. Oh, I got to do this the other way. Then go to split over here, and then we get the middle of the road. We get that bind for the third map. So interesting that split will be our second map here. I'm very intrigued as to what these teams have prepped once we actually hit that. But first up, Ravish, gonna be Ascent.
It is going to be a set. It's look, man. I remember when the map came out. I was not a very big fan of it. I have I mean, I would say it was okay. I was a big fan of Haven, which is the
Mhm.
map that Winthrop banned, which is like, hey, that's fine. I respect it. Three maps is sorry, I mean three bomb sites. That's honestly one too many. It's not okay. I do have to say,
Sure.
just small little gripe, Valorant. It's like it feels like every time I go ahead and queue up. I know you guys said you actually to randomize like the map more. Why is that every time I load and it's always map found ascent, map found ascent, map found ascent? What is this?
Ascent, because Ascent's a great map, man. Ascent's a great map, and you get a lot of these pocket strats on Ascent too, right? Because when you go to Ascent, there are three places of main contention, right? There's mid, which we talked about a lot earlier. I'm interested to see how mid maybe changes up as operator becomes more expensive and less potent, but
Mhm,
also control of B main and A main, right? A lot of teams, especially at the professional level, will have these cute little niche strats they'll pull out once or twice a map so that they can actually take control of that because it gives
mhm.
you so much map presence and it gives you that ult orb, right? So it's doubling up on efficiency and effectiveness for just a little bit of control.
Just a little bit too. And with that, like speaking of control as well, especially on the defense, what I find I'm really looking forward to is some of those cheeky strats, those wall bangs, the people taking out the Aries, the Odins, shooting
Mhm.
through the doggy door. Like right, you are right on beat, just like
Sure.
just aiming it down, seeing who I can go ahead and not get.
Oh yeah, the Sinatra spot. You grab the Odin, it goes Burr over in B main, right? You gotta love that. And
I
actually, what's
never.
interesting is recently people have been starting to counter Sinatra spot by bringing an Odin of their own and
Hmm,
spamming back. So in some
I've seen.
matches, you'll just see two Sovas, both with an Odin, blind firing through walls at each other. It is hilarious to watch, right? But it is a viable strategy, right? And it's not just the Odin that actually pierces that. Sheriffs will do it too. So some people will bring that out on an eco round or even on first round. I've seen it sometimes from a Sova. You get a late recon dart up into B main and you start popping heads through that wall. It can get pretty spicy.
Oh, very, very much so. It's like, and you know what? I gotta say it, Paul. Spice is aptly described as a spice to life. When you go ahead and add a little bit more sriracha into your salsa, that's when you know you're eating. And when you go ahead and add some spice into the game, that's when you get your heart beating. That's when I know I'm living.
I,
Sitting on the razor end of the seat.
I'm not a salsa connoisseur. Do people often add sriracha into salsa?
See,
Like
now
just
you're putting me on the
directly
spot.
into it?
Look, now you're putting me on the spot here. This is I don't
Yeah, I
appreciate
mean,
it.
you were the
I'm
one
trying
who
to build a
said it. I'm gonna
relationship.
put you on the spot for it.
I'm trying to build a relationship with you, Paul. A first time in the booth with you, so I'm like trying to get to know you, man. You're questioning my decisions.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
appreciate that,
I'll
but
question the electric slide. I'll question sriracha into salsa. You gotta
I
watch your tongue around me,
I
Ravish. I'm
can
not
say
letting you off
nothing.
the hook here.
I can say absolutely nothing in front of you and pretty much get away with it. Which, to go ahead and say for anybody trying to crucify me, no, I do not put sriracha in salsa. That would be wrong of me to do so. It's also frankly weird, like many of the weird things in the world.
Sure, fair enough. All right. Well, we're going to be heading onto the map soon here, folks. The teams are just wrapping up some pre lobby decisions, right? We're making sure that everybody is on the right side of the map here. And it does seem that Depth have chosen to attack first here on Ascent, which is a pretty interesting choice.
Mhm,
Now, normally, this would be the part of the broadcast where I say, oh, Ascent, like most of the maps in Valorant right now, is defender sided, right? But so much of that in most of Valorant's history right now, as it is still a pretty young game, only been out
mhm.
about 4 months, was due to how potent and how strong the operator was on defense, right? So now that it's more money, now that it's harder to use, right? Now that
Mhm.
Jet probably isn't going to have as good of a time using it, especially on a map here like Ascent, there is that question, right? Are maps going to continue to be so defender sided, right? Have Depth chosen for Ascent to be not only the map, but the side that they were looking for here so that they can just plow through on their attack and get themselves an early start in this series? Only one way to find out, folks, and that's to head into the map.
That indeed is. As you can see, guys. I'm taking notes to make sure because Paul is smart. It's
This will be on the test later, Ravish, just so you're aware.
Mhm. So you're saying defending is good. Ops are bad. Got it. Okay.
Nope. Okay. You're gonna want to paraphrase your notes a little bit differently there,
Okay.
annotate in the margins separately, but you're gonna have to do it on the fly, Ravish, as we are gonna be heading straight in onto Ascent here in just a moment.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me make
Okay.
sure I go ahead and get this down here.
Hmm.
Okay. So let me check my notes again. Okay. So ops are strong.
Probably, despite the 5K it takes out of your economy and the slight nerfs to it, a lot of teams are still using operators. So that we'll work with that one. Okay.
But they used to be strong, but now they're not as strong.
There you go. Now you got it. Now you got it.
Mm.
You are thinking with bind teleporters now, which to be fair, we're gonna go to Ascent, so I don't know if that'll help you too much. But regardless, finally, folks, we are into the game. Thank you for sticking with us. Pistol round coming on up. Depth on the attack here. Let's take a look at these comps, Ravish.
Exactly. And one thing which we pretty much gotten used to seeing, I believe it was at the right at the beginning that there were no sages coming onto a set, and now
Mhm.
it's pretty much just become the standard for a lot of it
Yeah.
here, if possible. And but what I like that I'm seeing though, I'm seeing the killjoy on side of
Yeah.
Winthrop.
Winthrop has triple information agents here. Very interesting decision. Great flash coming out. Flare will be able to disengage. Still got to be pretty careful here. That glass will get broken, so you have to be careful pushing through tree. You suspect that there's probably two members there. So yeah, good
Mhm.
rotate here from Depth.
Yeah, and Flair really goes ahead, brings out the flashes, and staves off a lot of the push. But you see, again, we were talking about before, mid push is then immediately giving over to the side of Depth in us. So now Depth have to see what they decide to do with it. Instead of going pushing on to A, since they pretty much found out, they're going to go ahead and try their luck at B instead. We have 4-man push right onto it. They should get found out, Killjoy, grenade out. So much ultimate, so low, and shot to the face. Swish! Gets the first kill, but 3 down, though. Immediately answered. They say, you take 1 of ours, we'll take 3 of yours.
Yeah, it was a good setup there, but it was so much Killjoy utility, all committed to that balcony, right? So not much left for the rest of the people holding in that area, not quite on site, but near it, market and boat, or not boat room, but market and defender spawn, etc. Oh, the blind dart through the smoke. Oh, that's rough for Twice. He's gonna go down. Not another frag to be found.
And just like that, Depth go ahead and get the first point of the round. So, you know what? Shout out to them. I like what I'm seeing so far immediately. They're playing it so they're playing it safe, and they're doing one thing which is the most important in all of Valorant. they're trying to get as much information as they can, right? Going in onto A, SAR didn't work out. They found out by the push. It's like, yo, you know what, guys? This ain't it here, Chief. Let's go and rotate. Autobots, move out.
Well, it's interesting that Winthrop on their defense got caught out, right? Because of that information game. They have 3 information agents. Killjoy, Cypher, and Sova all can be used so effectively here to be able to determine where rotates are going. But you see right now, it's just hard commits onto these rotates. This time it's going to work out.
Oh, God, goes and gets 2 shots. Immediate headshots. It's 2 for 1, 2 for 2. Shane trying to make it even, but loses the Omen battle. By the way, to Smoothie. So good looking to plant, but it's 2v1. And Soul depressed guy. Not looking so sad no more. Cleans up the round, and Soko gets some spike credits too. Wow, that was clean.
He can at least be soul content guy, right? I mean, that is the bonus round. You expect that to go the way of Depth Esports, and they only lose the 2 guns going in, I believe. So, or actually, it might have just. No, I believe it was 2 actually there going in. So now they can just buy sheriffs on those members and look for this bonus, or I'm sorry, this is the bonus round. That was the anti-eco. Misspoke a little bit, but the point stays the same, which is now it's just a question of how much damage can you do to the economy in what you think is probably going to be a loss, at least when you look at the firepower.
Yeah, because now it's going to be Spectres versus Vandals, so who's going to have the better gunplay, right? Of course, you're thinking any guy with the Vandal wins the battle. Now, excusez-moi, monsieur, I bet you differ. I would say it's immediately, look, that's the key word about that gunplay, right? Being able to go and land the better shots. Who can go ahead and pop before you pop here, Paul?
Just I believe that slow mid call here. Yeah, no, I'm just letting it breathe a little, Ravage. Don't worry about it. Transitioning into a hard A take. The Paranoia should be at the ready, so I expect this to be smokes. Beautiful recon dart there, though, coming out from the defense. They're going to know that there are a number of hard hitters coming onto this site there. Is the Jet looking up mid who can potentially get some damage done if the timing works out for him? Door going to get shut here. Already on to site, but there's still 2 players waiting around from Winthrop.
So other side, Spike is not got down yet, but Spike here is killed actually a Windex. Getting them all down from the side, from the little cubby. And now with that, now Death has to go ahead and make some tough decisions. It is just Gala left. Now, and he also only has the Sheriff. So I'm thinking if I'm Gala, you go ahead and you save your economy, right? He does get spotted out. It's 15 seconds, and that's a really smart play not to decide to push for it, but he tries to make the hero play, and unfortunately will not be able to execute.
And it's fine for Gala to do that at the end, right? You want to try and get that 3rd pick so that you can make the economy game more difficult for the defense. Doesn't quite come through. And really, the problem there was more so toward the middle of the round, right? The hard commit over toward B was very loud from Depth. They got easily heard. That recon dart gave even more information over to Wendy's. Great work from him, so that they knew that the commit was coming. And then it was a beautiful rotate. Winthrop rather have been committing to those very consistently once they know where the attack is coming from, right? So the push and pull, the tug of war we're seeing on these rotates, won by Winthrop in that round pretty comfortably.
Very much so, but twice looks like to be collapsed upon. It's a 3v3 situation coming it onto the A site. So just looks down there. So both players are trying to see if they can get any sort of pick and see exactly the positioning. But Depth decided not to go for it just yet. Drone out from Wendy's will spot out the Sova.
Only spots the Sova though,
yeah.
Right? So you don't know if more players have rotated. Now you're gonna know it's a hard hit.
Oh yeah, because running back immediately popped though, and Sogo, as you guys said, onto Woody, but twice through the fire, and immediately into the flame, gets taken out. And it's a 2v3 situation here, Paul. It's Depth a little bit on the back from a player, also pops one and back. He gets one, does third kill the round. Oh, but can't get his opponent, but switch well.
So well done there by Winthrop, right? And I love that run it back at the very end for 2 reasons from Flare. One, he had already taken some damage, and when you pop out of the run it back, you get health back, right? You go up back to 100 health. So Flare, he gets information with that, even if he doesn't get the frag. And not only does he get the frag onto Vons, but he spots out where Sogo is, grabs a headshot onto him with the classic, and that is the easiest kill to clean up of Winthrop's career. So great work from them there. And despite these hard hits and their composition looking to probably play more of like that slow push and pull with the 3 information agents, it's going very well for Winthrop right now.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Galabix alive to a gunfight. Next, you move a swish. Gets a 3K, degrading so much damage, didn't even see it all. Almost all of Depth just walked right over and
Oh no.
3 hits and Smoothie get chained at the edge. I believe he spotted the head right there at the edge of the smoke, just nailing him down. That just feels bad, man.
I mean, that's a corner you check anyways, right? Through the smoke. You can just blind fire that, and there's at least a chance somebody will be standing there. It was an eco for Depth, so we're not too worried about it, but I am starting to get concerned with how consistently Depth are going for these hard hits onto site, right? They're not really checking all the boxes they need, not using flashes, smokes, Molotovs, right, from the Phoenix to clear out all the necessary angles. Sure, it was just an eco. I'm not too worried about it in that round, but that's the 5th round in a row that they've really hard pushed onto a site and not really played 4 picks across the map. And if you don't vary your style up, you become very predictable as a team. Now they're playing default, but they have to actually win one of these engagements.
Yeah, but Flair going to get spotted out by his counterpart. And Cypher actually threw the pick. Finds the entire positioning of Depth. So now with that, though, they have to look at whether they're going to hard commit these positions or decide to go over a small rotation so that way they don't just get immediately caught out. But still, well, look at the Omen though here. The big rotation coming on to B here possible.
Oh, what an aggressive push out. He's not going to be able to do it though. The recon dart would have given him away. Bad timing there on what could have been a nasty paranoia, and because of that, he gave away his position. They knew he was playing in market, and Twice isn't going to find anyone through the smoke this time around.
No, but instead they decided to go ahead and hard commit onto B. Flair comes out the smoke with another box. Oh, gets 2. Oh my god. That was amazing. And Twice left against Soul Depressed guy. Sorry, Soul Content guy with 30 half. Let's see, be a little bit happier. There you go. That'll put a smile on his face.
Yeah, can't be too sad after that one. Good clutch there from Soul Depressed guy. And a much needed one too, because if he hadn't won that, the economy was going to be yet again in the gutter, and then we're looking at a 5-2 scoreline before you have guns back on the board here. But instead, we're going to have a tied up game, and instantly, 1 round, my worries are far diminished, Ravish, because they played default, they played that information game a little bit better. Sogo did a good job of contesting over toward that tree room over by Cubby, right? And keeping some people on the A site while his team pushed up mid and got that space, got that information. And once they got that pick onto the Sova, onto the Omen, it wasn't too difficult to push onto B. So good adjustment from Depth Esports in that round.
Yeah, actually fantastic coming off for them after such a back and forth immediately. There was a couple of rounds in a row. I was getting a little bit worried, but I find with these rounds, especially with these teams, considering it's a new season, it's new players, and it's like both these teams seeing each other for the first time, it will definitely take a little bit for them to go and test each other out, like you were mentioning, like push and pull, seeing what works and what doesn't. Considering it's like they're beating each other for the first time, and it's like. And like you have to go ahead and test your opponent's limits, see what they're willing to do and not do though. As Omen teleports, definitely Soul Depressed guy. So was part of that.
There's only 3 places that the Omen could be, and for Soul Depressed guy, there's really only 1, right? Because he heard where the teleport came from, it was market. So that means you either go exactly where Smoothie is right now, or you go back to the stairwell onto site, right? So Smoothie, he's got to be so careful. The flash is too late.
Oh, just immediately catch the paranoia out at the wrong time, wrong place though. But Swish is gonna put out the Killjoy all to make her catch everybody out. But Shane decides to take him before he can do anything with that though. And Wendy's really popping off though. Now it is a 3v3 situation here, Paul, as Hunter's Fury comes out and Twice caught on the backside. Doesn't notice Sogo at all. Flair trying to pass against him. Spike is planted. Nice shot by Flair.
Hunter's Fury is still available, but the Sova's stuck in boat room. This is not a position you can use that ultimate from very easily. He's gonna pop it early to try and tag players. Oh, he gets 1. Can he get the 3rd shot? No, he's gonna cancel it.
Oh, wow. Honestly, I think good call by him to make sure that they would get pushed, but still, that's a close up by him to finish off that kill. As Wendy's would be up Oh my god, with the ball, but doesn't get the shot. Has a pistol out. This is tough. Oh, gets one, but can't get the red. Oh.
Rough spot there for Wendy's. Good attempt. I have to say though, I feel like, especially with how expensive the operator is now, I would have liked it better if you went for the save there, right? You can afford to lose that round. You can afford to give up a little bit. There was enough money in theory to where this round could have been a contest if you had kept that operator on the board, but now instead it's gonna have to be a broken buy from Winthrop, right? Despite the 3 rounds they won in a row, that econ is all blown. They blew through their money like an irresponsible person going to Las Vegas.
I'll let them retain use of the adjective. You know, just being completely irresponsible. I don't like it, as was Flair. So for him to get picked out immediately, that'll be the second time he's got picked out. Though. What a beautiful window. Wow. That was sick.
That was dirty. That was absolute filth coming in right there. And this is just a nasty take. Well, I mean, it's a different sniper this time around. Are you going to save the Marshall instead, Wendy's?
That's amazing. But I got to say, man, I'm still in awe of him using like the updraft to go in right on the top of the box onto neutral site, get the shot. But wow.
And it's a great call there from Depth Esports, right? You know that even if they buy up, you have the superior firepower, right? So this is a round where you can get aggressive, when you can do one of those hard hits onto the site and not really worry about a rotate, right? They waste no time. They explode onto the site. Great smokes, great utility, and the Jet is in a position very few people really consider. Marshall's not even going to get saved. I respect the effort, Wendy's trying to get that pick. It would have been a trade up even regardless, but I mean... It's getting to a place where it's a rough spot here for Winthrop, right? I mean, you're defending on Ascent. In the past, we would have thought that that was where you should be picking up a few more of these wins. Once again, the operator changes, drawing that a little bit into question, at least for myself. Now you got a gun round. Yala is going to have an operator.
Let's go.
Interested to see where he puts it, right? And doesn't seem like it's going to be that hard control of mid, right? Not going to go for that contest. Instead, once again, that lean toward A here from Depth Esports, but the operator and the Jet both get spotted right there.
Yeah, we've seen them do this multiple times over and over again, but good call by Depth to go and spot them out, reading the rotation quite well. And that's the immediate call off. From Winthrop, except Gala's going to commit.
What a nasty shot there from Soul. We didn't get to see it on screen, but he gets the Phantom. I mean, it looks like it was a pretty hefty trade, down to 30 health, but wins that out across the map. And now questions come in, right? Because you know where the Cypher was, over by B, but you know where the pick happened, over by A. Winthrop are going to struggle so hard to read where this push is coming from.
I don't know, but they should have heard of the ult or being popped, though. But it will go ahead and give him the run it back if he wants to start to commit to the push. And now we see also to Gala go ahead and rotate it off of A as well, because she couldn't spot Decipher there. So instead of not getting a pick, they're all gonna go ahead and hard commit to be here yet again. Now we've seen this do before here, possible.
30 seconds left.
Half the time it hasn't necessarily gone their way, but run it back popped and they're in.
Yep, those Killjoy mollies are nasty, man. You can't just run through them. They're too deadly.
Yeah, it just allows Wendy's for the quick cleanup after it gets 3, but fine. But we'll get taken down, but still, it is a 2v2 situation. Gallo with the off. Gallo, that's like a Killjoy. Nice little slide out, slide in, doesn't get the shot, but twice will. And now, Vons, can he make the hero play? 2v1 situation, I would like to be waiting in ballroom if he could, but Cowboys pants down a little bit.
Only 54 health. It was pretty difficult for Vons to make that happen. And once again, this is becoming the problem for Depth, right? Their hard commits onto A have looked beautiful. Their hard commits onto B are struggling here because they are unable thus far to clear those Killjoy Molotovs. They haven't gotten them out with a bait. They haven't gotten them out by just shooting them or anything. They are riding the struggle bus over on that B site, right? And Swish is changing up the exact positions of these Molotovs, but the purpose is the same every round, right? It's impossible to push on to B as long as those are down.
Yeah, and even those Molotovs are not easier to spot. It's like it's a lot of that's the and like even the damage is a little bit less, but nice trade kill down by in mid. We were just talking about it before, but it's like that mid push going a little bit wordy here. Soul depressed guy waiting, getting a little bit of cheeky fight around the side, trying to see if anybody gonna come to the market. Oh,
The
hold this
timing on
off.
this is nasty.
No.
Oh, that was so well done from Soul Depressed guy. I mean, he's gonna get caught through the smoke there. Only so much you can do. But with the neural theft, he calls into question where the attack is going to be pushing, right? And he creeps into the log pocket outside of B main and then gets that beautiful swing. Run it back for the retake.
Flashed out, run it back on immediately. Though, but swish in goes ahead. Guess one trade kill immediately, but the blades are popped. Ooh, we're going on Gala. He comes in immediately onto Swish. And attackers win 6-4.
And it's all Soul Depressed guy, man. I mean, I don't know what he has to be so sad about. I mean, admittedly, you know, I'm not going to go into the, you know, underlying things of depression right now. This is a video game stream. Let's try and keep it lighthearted. No. But
up it up.
Regardless, I got to give it to his Cypher play, right? A lot of Cyphers love to lurk, but the timing on lurks, it's just a feel a lot of the time for Cyphers, for any lurkers, really. And he feels that out beautifully, right? Creeps his way in around the side of that smoke. So well done from him, and it sets his team up beautifully. Now they're at a 6-4 score line. They can't lose this half. Worst case scenario, they tie it. And with a pick like that to start, it's seeming like they're at least going to take the lead in this half.
Requires still paranoid. Out, gets shots out, but just like not able to get the head, but Sogo will instead. So now already putting depth at that man advantage, still 5-3. The spike is planted onto a default, I believe. So, but Smoothie doesn't want to crack the window because he knows he'll be immediately spotted out. But Shane's waiting for him, shoots in the darkness. It pops an entire clip, not getting much damage onto him.
It's good paranoia. Will force Shane back a little bit, but ultimately he still needed to win the trade against Sogo. Pretty hard to do that when you are at such a heavy disadvantage in the weaponry. Need that first flick. Headshot doesn't quite come through, and that is 7-4. Once again, eco for Winthrop. We're not going to read into that round too much, but a good half here from Depth Esports. Starting to see why they chose to attack on this map.
Yeah, I mean they're looking really good at it so far, except just the odd B push here and there. It's like they have what I like to call that clean execution here, Paul. They very much have a very clear go button, whether we either run it back or one pay coming out of mid or immediately onto the site here. It's so I'm liking the communication that they have to go and pull it out. But for the final round, they want to go on to B yet again, test their luck though. But when he's gonna spot out that's the op down.
A Killjoy ultimate here too. This is going to dissuade a hard B push, but seems like they're just going to try and run back. I think the Killjoy ultimate didn't really actually have much effect there. So now you can push onto the site pretty consistently. Flare sneaks in over the Molotov. Swish is going to be expected to be there, but no one expects Flare to have snuck his way there.
Not at all. The spike is still not planted, but Op is still there for Gala, though. He doesn't spot him just yet. He's coming on to catwalk. Shots out. Flare. What the wall bang. I'm just so depressed, guy. That'll do something to your mental. But now it's he definitely should have heard the drop, but spike plant being baited by Gala spots him right on the edge and nails him.
Physics of sight work against him there. Poor Flare. Still a good round from him ultimately, but if you are holding closer to a corner, more of your body is visible to someone who is further from the corner, right? So it's how the angles work out. I can't really describe it well. I need like a visual representation of it, but because of the way the sight is at the center of the person, right? You can see. Exactly. Great. Our producer said it perfectly in our ears right here. Just because I can't see them doesn't mean they can't see me. Caboose from Red versus Blue, not quite having a fun time if he was Flare in that situation. Now we're going to be switching it up, though.
That was good. I like that, though. It's beautiful, but he immediately spots out the Killjoy grenade. Shots down. Got to want to switch, though. But it takes a lot of damage. The shot at 24 health, can use tailwind to just barely get out there, but being chased down That wow.
This is a little risky, though. They haven't taken control of A main, so they're going to get caught from literally every single possible angle as they go for this plant.
No, but Plant is not, just actually still not down yet, though. Twice. We'll be able to get it done at this point, but Smoothie on the back end going to get taken by the wall back. It's a 3v3 situation for Winthrop and Depth. Now, Winthrop are all centered around the site. Sorry, Winthrop. So I apologize. But so are pretty much cornered into the side. Shane gets 3, but Flair gets one of his own. I saw a headshot by Vons. So 1v1 situation. Vons gonna heal up. Does he get the shot? Yes, he does.
Beautiful little flick there from Vons at the end of it. But ultimately, I gotta say, it was kind of the positioning there that really messed with Winthrop on their attack, right? And Depth are able to get it done on their defense. Although the flank, the A main push there from Sogo doesn't quite work out. Ultimately, the effect is the same, right? You draw attention. And unfortunately, yeah, he shot the person in the head, the one person who had light armor on the enemy team. So it feels bad, but he did some good damage and he enabled his team to get further out onto heaven. But now this is getting a little spicy here. This is something, Mr. I haven't played the game since beta. You might have missed this. A lot of teams, after you lose pistol, have started to grab heavy armor and some guns. They buy up every now and again and go for some aggressive plays like out A main. Beautiful 2 picks there.
Look, man, I'm just saying the game back in my day was a lot simpler, all right?
Okay,
we had Haven, and that's it. And you come with your fancy guns and these headshots here. I remember back with my pixel, you had to aim for the top right and maybe go ahead and land your shots. But now it's getting a lot dirtier. Now they can see everything. And now Winthrop stuck in a 2v5 situation. Sorry. Make that 1v5 situation.
This is so rough for Winthrop, too, because they bought up this round. This was around a lot of teams. You know, the normal way this round plays out is that you just go with the classics, no armor, you try and get the spike down, right? Because you lost the first round, but instead they go for this. I mean, you would need a clutch of epic proportions, and no, Wendy's can't make it happen with just a Spectre in the hand. And now you've just delayed your eco round. There's still no money available for Winthrop on the attack. There's no chance they can buy into this round. So now you get a bonus and a bonus. Winthrop, they took a risk, they rolled the dice, and it came up snake eyes.
and that's just those kind of things where you're thinking, like, you know, it's like, I'll go ahead and relate it to something near and dear to my heart too. If you've been playing the gacha games, if you've been playing Genshin, you think I gotta wish. Let me try to go ahead and get Venti, and then suddenly you get 3-star weapon, and you thinking, well, that was a nice waste of $5. I didn't want that. Thanks. Is just go ahead and relate it to all my fellow gacha gamers out there.
I like that reference. I like that. I keep getting Xiangling, but I'm not complaining. She's adorable.
She's nice. She's cool. I like Xiangling.
All right. Let's keep it on task here, Ravish. This attack, pretty slow considering it's an eco from Winthrop right now.
Yeah.
Do love that Nebula Sheriff skin, but I mean, your Sheriff can look pretty. Rather, I was about to say pretty. It does the same thing regardless, Ravish. One-shot headshot is the only way you're really going to get a kill very easily, especially when you're going into these Spectres. I love this positioning right now from Vons and the Omen. Great crossfire set up there. Great bait. Great play across the map right now. Solid, passive, defensive setups. Depth know they don't need to give an inch.
But we see
30 seconds left.
they decided to go ahead and commit all onto A, but Sogo around the side, immediately gonna get one firewall though. If I wasn't gonna block out Depth for the time being, but kills. But it just all goes wrong for them, Paul. It's just I'm so flustered I can't even speak. Wow.
Still not around one yet. Pretty low health here for the attacking team, and they'll get the spike down. But only one member remaining. So close in the periphery, and not going to happen. Shane with the flick and the support from Gala will get that one done. The Alt Orb don't. Oh, no. Alt Orb not going to be donated, actually. They're just grabbing Sheriffs, making sure they min-max here.
Just like, and that's, getting what they can, and then like pretty much like going off of what they can. But like, but still, Winthrop, as I say
There
yet
you
again,
go.
as I try to flex my muscles, I apologize to the college of Winthrop for butchering their name the entire game. But
It's all good. Well, I mean, right now, Depth Esports are butchering, or well, no, that's actually a bad way to
that's
put that. That was
uh,
about to make it seem like Depth Esports are doing bad on this defense, when what I was wanting to say is how well they're playing, right? And I want to shout
yeah,
out Sogo, especially. Sogo, I felt played beautifully on that round. The corner spray through as they come through A main, and he doesn't hard commit to it. Instead, he knows someone was going to be coming out tree. He got that pick too, and now easy as it comes for Gala on that one. Operator, yeah, it's more expensive. Yeah, it's harder to hit those electric slide shots, but
yeah.
it's still one shot takes you down.
Yeah, exactly. So, just that one shot, one kill, like achievement that you get when you go ahead and nail that. So it's like doesn't really matter as long as you get it, which I gotta say, side note, we were talking about skins before. I love this skin for the op,
Yeah, I hate
and
the alien ones. I hate them.
don't
And it turns
don't
out
love
Flair
that
doesn't
shot.
like him either. He's gonna put it
Yeah.
on the floor. Gala going down. Trapwire immediately destroyed, so they should know the chain is around that area, but this is a pretty difficult retake. Keep in mind, though, it's not the extra bonus round that Depth Esports could have gone for, right? They actually bought Phantoms, they bought Operators, they invested into this round. Oh, no, and
Shit.
that was risky, but
Ooh.
it pays off. He'll save the op for next round. Love this call by Depth Esports.
Yeah, exactly. Because we said time and time again, looking at your econ, your investment, and like saving the operator is absolutely massive. Shane trying to get an exit kill will not be so lucky, but gives away the positioning. I don't think Winthrop's gonna try to push it though, so he's gonna just like aim down sight, just look to see if they do. But actually, never mind. I'm doing wrong. Winthrop are searching.
Yeah, Flair is Sova, right? Or not Sova, Phoenix rather. We were looking at Vons on Sova. He does have flashes, so he can get a little spicy. Turns out that curveball just a waste of a couple hundred credits at the very end there, but not a waste overall in the round. Winthrop, they get on the board on their attacking half, and they get some much needed currency just sitting in their pockets, right? That was a very inexpensive round for them. They hardly lost anybody, so they keep a lot of money on the board, even if they get pushed back in this round, even if it goes to match point right here, they should still be able to buy in the round ensuing. So much needed breath of fresh air for Winthrop.
So we'll see what they can do with it. Like, give them a couple of seconds, reset their mental as Von spots the Killjoy, but only the Killjoy. Right. So they're seeing that it's not going to be a full commit onto A instead, but smokes come out, trying to bait them a little bit. So right now, but with that though, Winthrop have gained mid control here, Paul.
And Gala is going for the wall bang there with the operator, but the fact that there is an operator there at all dissuades Winthrop. Instead, they're just going to hard hit onto the A site. Sogo, though, beautiful, disciplined play with this run it back. Just uses the very end of it. Might get caught. His positioning a little dicey, but seems like he's okay for now.
Yeah, really okay. So you're going to be able to get out, but makes it count with a spot. There's the 3K. And the flawless comes out from Depth.
Beautiful work there. Sogo has been so good. He might not be the top of his team right now in terms of kills, but his play, his positioning, honestly been, I don't want to say flawless, but pretty close, right? It's that that exponential curve, or the what is it called? The limit approaches infinity right here from Sogo right now. He's doing a beautiful job. I've loved anytime we've panned onto him. I hardly spot any flaws from this guy right now. He doesn't have any curveballs.
So interesting choice.
So that's an interesting choice. I've got to be honest. Not buying the flashes at all.
Yeah. It's you know what? I want to take it as a fun decision. By Sogo,
Trying to style on him.
Yeah, he decides to go ahead and put the game from from like medium to the survivor difficulty and see how you can execute.
And that was risky too. Flair was keeping his eyes on Wine for so long.
Yeah.
But he's going to get spotted on that Alto Orb. The Alto Orb heard from Sogo. Beautiful patience there, as expected from this Phoenix at this point.
So he's a really well for himself, which honestly I like a lot. Now with that opening pick, Now Winthrop has to be really careful as to where they go ahead and hard commit to. We've still seen them try to just go all onto one site, but until they go ahead and tie up the man score, I would be a little bit worried as shots going out to the back of B site. But actually, nice. Vaughn gets spotted out. That's actually a huge pick.
They still have to walk into this operator though. With 30 seconds, Ascent being such a big map, they don't have time to rotate. They're not even gonna try. Beautiful
Oh,
round shutdown from the defenders spawn, basically. And a strong 13-5 for their debut on Ascent for Depth Esports. What a map from them.
what a absolutely fantastic way, a great game to open up the series, to open up the entire season here possible. And I loved what I saw, the consistent back and forth in the beginning, the tug and tug, the tug and pull are both sides to seem testing each other's limits. But as soon as you saw it, that Winthrop got the lead, decided to just run it home.
Yeah, and credit where it's due to Winthrop. I thought they played their defenses, especially early, pretty well. Their Killjoy, especially Swish, I felt did a really good job setting up the utility and keeping it variable so that it wasn't something that Depth Esports could just spot out and deal with round after round after round. The turrets were moving, the Molotovs were moving, so good work from Swish. But ultimately, the attacks a little bit slow when it comes down to their composition a little bit too, right? When you run with the Killjoy, with the Cypher, with the Sover, you are committing so much to the information game, and Depth really didn't give them anything to work with, especially on their defense, right? There were no aggressive pushes into Killjoy turrets that got people caught out. Nobody got caught on trap wires on one side of the map and easily fragged, right? So Winthrop, they did a good job of recognizing the weaknesses of the enemy composition, and they lock it down 13-5.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic job by them. I love what I saw. Small little points in which you said, like with Killjoy utility, many of the pushes were completely staved off by those grenades. It's like just a complete hard push, bunch
Yeah.
of damage down, ending the 3K, and that was all she wrote though. But that is not all she wrote for us here today. With that being said, this is the best of three. So can Winthrop go and take over the clean 2-0, or will Depth take it back? Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back, right here on Upsurge. And welcome back, everybody, to the UPL week #1 Valorant tourney for Winthrop versus Depth
You got
Esports.
it.
I'm Ravage, joined by Possible. And after a banger of game #1, we're looking to go to game #2, where Winthrop is looking to completely take the clean 2-0. But can they do it, Possible?
Other way around. Depth looking to take the clean 2-0. Winthrop struggled a little bit here on map 1, Ravish. They didn't, admittedly, they didn't get to pick it, right? So Winthrop, they got the choice of ban this series. They banned Haven, and then Depth decided, let's start on Ascent. So Depth came out strong on their map pick, 13-5. It's pretty clean. Not as clean as it possibly can get, but woo, it was a very clean showing from them. But now this is the map that really calls into question, right, Ravish? Because we talk about the beginning of the series, you get the choice of map ban. Winthrop, they chose Haven instead of a map like Split, which is more so what most teams will decide to ban out of Split. Still very much a tumultuous map. Defense so heavily favored on this map, even still, even with the operator nerfs probably. So now we go to Split, right? Winthrop, you chose to keep this in the series, this map, this contentious map. Can you come out and show us that it was for good reason?
Honestly, man, I genuinely enjoy playing on Split. Sorry, I can't speak today.
It's okay.
But
You know,
with
we're
that,
only here explicitly for the purpose of talking. It doesn't make sense that we're any good at it.
that is a gargantuan fact, mi amigo. Now, I do want to go ahead and clear up some misunderstandings here. So, I played the game actively. I have also played the game since beta. I just want to get that across to everybody.
You went for the big brain joke at the beginning of the podcast, and it did not pay off.
It didn't land.
Pay
And
off
that's okay. You know what? I accept it. That's my bad. It's
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, no imposters here. Our producer in our ear right now trying to vote Ravish off. He did not vent, although there are a lot of vents here on Split. Very urban map. We're gonna be heading straight onto it, folks.
so when you go down to the vent into the sewers, which is what I wanted to
Oh
bring up,
no.
is
There's literally
where
a room called Vents, Ravish, and you went with sewers instead? Oh boy. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get on to the map. Let's get out of these terrible jokes. Defense starting off here for Winthrop. And I gotta say, this is where they gotta come alive, right? Because Split, not only is it defender favored, right? But once again, they're running both the Killjoy and the Cypher. I think the Killjoy was very effective on Ascent. I want to see Swish come alive on this map.
It's like 1,001%. Coming alive doesn't even need to be described. It's I need them to do so. I need them to make my heart race, Paul. I need that to be jumping out of my chest when the first shot lands. And as we see already, grenades out twice hold up around Haven, looking for push down into garage.
Okay.
That
camera was late though. He doesn't spot anyone here.
Yeah,
but he'll hear him.
As Jumpy goes in, he's going around the side, playing a little bit of ring around the rosy. But does he have those pocket full of bullets that he needs to be able to take it out? Spots the camera though, but gets shot out from behind. Oh, Gala spots him out though. That's really well done. But Gala's firing away, and it'll land them in a 3v2 situation.
Molotov's still available here. Flare can use that to clear back sight and push people out. That Paranoia didn't hit anyone.
No, but that grenade just tags up Swish just a little bit. The hole around the corner, but this guy's a complete firing squad. It's right at the edge, but it doesn't pay off. What? Okay, so maybe I'm newer to Valorant than I thought, because that's a strat that I've never seen before.
Basically what was standing on the shoulders of the Rays there, the Cypher, still depressed guy. I love that positioning actually, because it makes it really hard to take out both players, but it's a little bit risky. You can't, I mean, obviously in pistol round, you're not going to get collateraled really, but there is that bleed over damage that can come through regardless though. It's still that round on the board for Winthrop. I loved how they played that retake. The Paranoia didn't catch anyone, sure, but it did clear Pillar out. They were able to get that control and basically eliminate the possibility that they were anywhere except that exact box. So the stack doesn't quite work out. The 2v3 didn't work out firepower wise. Now they're going to lean toward the A site instead. And Depth have bought into this round, despite losing Pistol.
Yeah, they decided to go full send on it, on both their guns and the point. But Wendy's nice little travel, nice little jump by though, but his little boombox not gonna spot any, but the grenades will tag him up. A lot of damage already down. They're going full send onto Haven next. Nice kill onto Swish, but Smoothie's still waiting around the backside. He's waiting for any rotation to come by, but like he's being gunned down on top.
A lot of time spent here, but this rotate off should be pretty easy to read for the defense. Yeah, no, everybody left. Nobody's there, still making noise, calling into question whether or not there's a rotate. And this Killjoy turret, along with the trap wire, gonna make it so difficult to enter into B Heaven, and they don't really have another option right now.
Nice little hot hands to get Flit out of the sides, allowing them to move on to Heaven and the wall. Beautiful use of utility here by the Phoenix to be able to actually get them through Haven without being gunned out though, but now comes into gunplay. Now here's the question, it's a 2v3, it's Flare. That's spotted out from Haven, but twice on the backside. Gets through, gets four! And there's the win to go ahead and give Winthrop the 2-0 lead.
Great read there from Winthrop. And again, remember, this is how the last map started too, right? Winthrop got a good, well, not quite, but Winthrop was having an easier time at the beginning, I should say, because Depth were going for these hard commits, these full sends, as you put it, towards sites, right? And they didn't quite like traditional full send onto A. They waited around Heaven. They tried to play with the timing and see if they could grab an opening, but they fully rotate off, and it gets to the situation where Winthrop, they need to not be easy to read here. So I'm looking for more variety as we continue on their attacking half. Right now they're pushing up mid as a 5-stack. Hard commit into here is going to get them caught by a Molotov more than likely.
No, but immediately though, we see Killjoy Grenade go out to try to just waste their time, but as soon as that's ended, Musogo jumps in preemptively, and we'll go ahead. We'll pay for that with his life, but the grenade from Vons should go ahead and force Flare out the backside, flash in, and it's just this little tangle they're doing here, going back and forth between Haven, but it's not paying off for Depth.
I mean, keep in mind the economy right now is busted for Winthrop. They bought up second round and they lost it anyways, so they're not working with anything real in their pockets, and they haven't been able to find a pick to get themselves an actual gun. It's just those classics pretty much. Or I believe that actually is one sheriff being held by Shane there, but even still, he needs the headshot. He's so low on health. This is going to be such a difficult round. Oh, beautifully placed, actually. I thought it was a little too far, but Wendy's with D's satchel charges. Excellent job.
I'm sorry, did you say D satchel charges?
I said Wendy's with D's.
Okay, cool. I was about, yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine. I'll go and let that
work from him.
Absolutely.
And once again, I have to call Depth out here, right?
Yeah.
They hard push into B, try to get control of Heaven, realize they're not getting control of Heaven, and then fully rotate, leaving nobody back all the way to A. And Wendy's, he's able to get that rotate off. It's not really too difficult to read. The players have left. You probably heard the footsteps as well. So Depth now, finally, they're going to play spread out. This is what they did last round, or last map too, right? They played the first few rounds, full committal, and then started to slow it down, switch up their tactics a bit. Wendy's is feeling the wind on those bullets, just checking the corner.
Yeah, getting a nice little updraft, if you will, but for him. Thank you.
Wrong character.
I know. Like I said, I've played this game before. It's that though, but still, all of Winthrop, almost all of Winthrop, we're going to be positioned onto the high ground, try to catch anybody up. But Smoothie, same position as before. The smoke out with the paranoia, doesn't see the same rotations last round from Depth, so they're going to go ahead and get by pretty cleanly. As Swish is waiting on the other side. Little does he know, no one's coming for him.
Smoothie's holding on to this paranoia, though, and when this rush comes out, Smoothie is going to be able to get a devastating run out. There's the smoke coming in. Paranoia at the ready, goes the flash. I believe it missed the Phoenix, but the wall actually against Sogo right there. The timing and the angles not working out. Instead, it is Smooty who gets it all done with just 11 seconds left. You have to imagine this is a save for depth.
Yeah, they're gonna decide, you know what, they want nothing to do with these anymore as it rotate out. They want on to be the at least they'll get one on their way out though, but you know, Gala will not be so lucky. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, rough round there for Depth Esports. And despite the fact that they played a little bit slower, despite the fact that they did switch it up how I wanted them to do so, right? They still don't get anything on the board. Now the economy is pretty broken right now. It is rough for them right now. They are going to have to go for that save. They saved the one Phantom from last round. So there is potential upset in this round, right? You can grab a gun, you can get something done as long as you can trade out one of these sheriffs 1-for-1.
So
Ultimate's available too. Showstopper can just be used. Bladestorm already popped.
As they go to commit onto, B. Vaughn's just not gonna get the ult out there, but twice we get 3 on the back end, reading the entire room from garage, and Gala bringing out the knives. But he's the only person left here. So I'm thinking, if I'm Gala, I've already popped the ultimate, trying to get what I can, but that will result in not much at all. As Winthrop get a 5-0 lead, and they're looking like a different team.
And you gotta keep in mind that round was inexpensive when it comes to the economy, but expensive when it comes to ultimates, right? Sure. Yep. Now you've got the run it back online, right? But you used the showstopper to try and get onto the site, and it was just a bloodbath coming out of B main with twice mowing down Depth Esports, right? So run it back is available. Sogo can use that to blitz onto his site, but there's still so much utility that can keep him at base. Showstopper's available for the defense alongside the run it back. So this is not an easy round for Depth Esports, and if they don't start putting some rounds on the board, this is going to run away from them very quickly.
As it's they decided to go for a bit of a slower push this time instead of just going right onto hard committing onto either side. The Vons this time we're going to pick out twice as a little bit of revenge from last round, so to make sure they're going to shut him down. As Windy's just stuck in the smoke. They know he's there though. He has a position around that little cubby almost every single one of these rounds. Has a showstopper if you want to start to go ahead and get aggressive, as you mentioned, if possible. But they're not all onto heaven. But Spike is planted.
Cypher's waiting though. Yep, Soul, he's gonna grab that one.
Yeah.
Player does use the run it back, gets on a site, creates some space for his team, but this is such a difficult post plant, and now Flair's position is given away. 1v4, are you really gonna go for this Flair? It's risky. You can do some damage to the economy, and with 5 pretty clean rounds, there should be enough in the pockets of Winthrop to buy up regardless, but he'll just get spotted up in heaven and taken down. Only 1 lost. Beautiful rush onto the site there from Depth Esports, and they finally get on the board.
And we're seeing yet again, like this is why Winthrop picked this map. They're looking really strong on it. They're being able to essentially just make some clean rotations and executions. They're giving them out really, but that was a solid play by Depth to at least be able to get one back from themselves. But speaking of the ulti game as of late, though, it's only Shane who has a TP to go to get across the map. Besides that, it is looking dry across the board. But Econ at least now a little bit back in their favor.
And a great smoke here. This is countering the strat that Soul Depressed Guy has been using. He's been throwing out cyber cages to try and clear a lobby, make the person playing on site wonder if somebody has crossed there. But instead, this time around, it is a counter smoke preventing anyone from going out into B lobby. That being said, because you committed so much over toward A, main has been more or less given up. And with a pick onto Gala and a run through vents from Sogo, A suddenly becomes very easy to get control of.
Yeah, just blown up wide open flashes. So none of the car balls go ahead and find anybody though. But with that, we are gonna see the Killjoy ultimate come out for Winthrop to decide to just push them off. But he might not even need it. That was a disgusting headshot. Get that 3 onto Sogo, but can't commit onto Vons. But now I don't even think he'll need it.
Vons is out of there, though. Doesn't want to commit. knows that he's low, wants to play the information game instead, but I believe he was either spotted or heard. Soul the Press guy, definitely position has been given away. So now the question is, do you really want to commit to this hard push toward that B site? You've rotated around. No, it's the full ring around the Rosie. Swish is waiting though. Here's the ropes.
He's waiting on the side. He sees them. There's one, there's two, and they're out of there. Swish just reads the complete beautiful rotation from depth. He knew they had nowhere to go. They didn't get onto the site, and they were just so low. It just took a couple little bops, and that was wow. Like, it's just like, I like the idea from depth, but they just got caught out too early.
Winthrop are playing this map very well. They know exactly how they want to rotate and what they want to use when to deny a lot of the hard hits that depth are going for, right? You saw the Killjoy ultimate ready in screens. It put a little seed of doubt into the minds of depth, right? So despite the fact that they had heaven control, they get caught by a paranoia. They're on a clock because of that Killjoy ultimate. So well done from Winthrop. Now they got to deal with this hard hit, this rush onto the A site. And guns available for Depth Esports. This ain't an eco round, folks. They're going for this.
As Flair though, he sees sorry, Spike just not planted though, so he sees almost the entire team onto A side, waiting down below for them, but twice looking, coming to the screen, spots out Vaughn's. It's a nice shot by him, but gets taken so low for it. So not gonna be able to make the aggressive play as Flair comes out of Haven, trades 1 for 1. Now with this 2v2 situation, I don't know if they'll be able to do it as twice onto Gal. Oh my god, but he's so low, it's 10 health. I just can't get the shot. And so depressed. Guy looking like, and it puts a smile on the face without 4K and the round win too.
Yeah, good work there from him. And honestly, I think it was just a risky hit onto the site there for Depth Esports, but one that they needed to do, right? They needed to mess with the tempo. They've been playing these rounds a little bit slower. And yeah, I was criticizing them for their hard hits earlier, but that one was well executed. It was expensive in terms of utility, but they set themselves up in positions around that post plant that make it expensive for the attackers too. So by the time it's just Soul Depressed guy on the defense, well, you know, I say defense, on his post plant, I should say, he's in a spot where, you know, at the very least, most of the utility has been used. And Winthrop, I gotta criticize them a little bit. They had the 100 health person entering onto the site instead of the 10 health one. Generally, you want to use the lower health player to actually bait for the enemy team, right? Make it harder for the player on site, for Soul Depressed guy to actually take that down. He hits the headshot instantly and locks that site down. Now, so much available here for both sides. Showstopper and Bladestorm. Bladestorm already used. Showstopper at the ready here for Depth.
Is gonna go ahead and pop her. Depth gets it, fires the shot, and there's the nail. We not twice, but Spets goes in love with the arm of Wendy's, and so will Gala as well. So a solid trade so far, and Depth coming on top of it. As that was a nasty shot. Switch out the smoke. He goes ahead and gets him, but. Oh my god. It's just not Swish. He knows it all in garage. At least gets one, but Galler on the side. And those knives being put to work.
Gallo was pretty nasty with that Bladestorm there. Gotta give him credit. There's a reason he's playing Jet despite some